we have all had horses that didn't like to be fly sprayed at one point or another. Sometimes it's just getting them used to it again after the winter, and they're not used to the sound, they're not used to the touch on their body, and it startles them a little bit. We always want to have wonderful experiences with our horses and to preserve our relationship and build trust and confidence in our horse and confidence in our ability to interact with our horse. So taking a few steps to reintroduce them to the fly spray, or helping a horse that's afraid of it by teaching them that it's safe. And I want to take a minute to explain that we're not just teaching them to tolerate being fly sprayed, we're actually changing the way that their mind perceives the fly spray and the experience of being sprayed. There's a lot to it. There could be an aversion to the smell, and some horses have had fly spray put on them that irritated their skin, so they don't want it on them again. That's completely reasonable. There are experiences that horses have had where fly spray was applied really roughly and without any control at all of their own bodies. So, maybe they were confined, or the spray was, brought at them really fast, and so they were scared, and now they just have an association with that being a bad experience. So we want to always keep in mind that every experience we have with our horse should be pleasant, and that's our goal, so that we're not creating any anxiety, and make sure that our horses are acclimated to these husbandry tasks that they sometimes need. If they're covered with flies, we need to fly spray them. We can always pick an alternative way of applying it by wiping it on their bodies, and sometimes that's the right thing to do with horses that are really terrified of it, or struggling until they're able to handle it. And some horses may never be able to handle it for whatever reason. So let's talk about some different ways of approaching the concept of fly spray with the horse. So I'm going to talk you through it first, and then we'll work with the horse. But this is going to be our simulated horse for now, and I want to show you some different ways to get the horse to feel more comfortable around fly spray. And if this is our horse and our horse is frightened, I'm going to turn it. This is going to be our horse's nose. That'll be awesome. And we come at the horse with the fly spray, and we start spray. Clearly, that's going to make the horse want to go away. It's really easy to trigger their defense mechanisms and their fight and flight response. So we don't want to do that at all. But one thing that we can do is we can just show them the fly spray, and we can let them just sniff it and check it out, sniff, and we can reinforce that behavior. I use clicker training, so if I have a horse that touches something I want them to touch, then I would boop and then give them some food. And the horses I work with already know how to target, so I can use the fly spray bottle as a target, boop, and they can learn to touch that, and that can be one way to start to reduce their anxiety about it, because they have control, they can touch it when they want to, and then when they do touch it, they're able to get something that's pleasant, so they get a little bit of food. So that's one way to do it. Another way of doing it is to expose them from a really, really great distance. So here's my horse. My horse is way over here, and I discovered if I spray way over here, then my horse is okay with that. It doesn't frighten them at all. So I can do that, and that's going to be a desensitization approach. And so I spray, and as long as my horse is standing still and calm, then I'm at the right distance. And I can go even farther away if I need to, and spray, and the horse stays calm. So while I'm doing that, got a little fly spray on me. While I'm doing that, I can have a dish that I can throw food in over here. And so if my horse accepts me spraying from a distance, I can throw some food in the dish, and then slowly get a little bit closer. And you actually want to do it like this. You're going to get a little bit closer, spray, throw some food, and then go farther away, and stay farther away for a little bit, and then a little bit closer, and then farther away. And you just have to let your horse tell you what they're comfortable with. So that's another option. The third option is to have them follow the spraying sound. So you might need to put them on a halter and lead. And so here are you in the sprayer, spray, 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 and the horse is following you from behind. And so when a horse is chasing something, as a way of looking at it, then you're giving them, putting them in the driver's seat and making them feel more comfortable about it. So that's another option too. The fourth option is that when we get to that point where we're starting to get a little bit closer and spraying and our horse wants to leave the area, is to calmly and as neutrally as possible interrupt that behavior and then going back to rewarding the behavior that we're looking for, which is to stand still and be more accepting of it. So let's go ahead and try these different approaches on a horse.